run long. That doesn't mean, again, new standards. It just means holding ourselves with a renewed focus and new discipline and taking pride in what we do in our work, right? So what you guys built in 2025, we didn't just focus on installs and getting those installs completed. I know once I've been in here, and I know with the leadership of Jesse and Rick, we also focus on how we show up, right? Have you guys heard me talk about being, that first impression, which means being sharp as a tack, an expert in your field, and enthusiastic as hell, right? Those 3 points, I'll tell you, I got that guy from, he says that, what is the Wall Street guy? Gosh darn, I'm forgetting. His name is Jordan. He's a crazy dude. But anyway, that's what he says. They made a movie, Leonardo DiCaprio, about him. Werewolf of Wall Street, or The Wolf of Wall Street, if you guys know that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he says show up sharp as a tack, that first impression, enthusiastic as heck, and an expert in your field. That's how we show up, right? That's how, either whether you're doing it here at the office, doing it, at the customer's home, that's how we show up. How we work together. That's our culture here, guys. How do we, lean on our helpers lean on our leads, and how we lean on our management, leaning on our team, working together. And then, how we leave the home. Making sure you're leaving the home, even better than you found it. You've heard that. No matter if you, they see the work that you do or they thank you and appreciate it, we still leave the home better than we found it. So, culture. It's not just these awesome things that are posters on the walls. That doesn't build culture. I mean, it's nice and it's pretty and it looks good, right? But it is about how we treat each other. It is about how we install when no one's looking. It is about how we work and how hard we put into our craft, and what we do, again, when no one's looking. Because in your department, there's not a lot of eyes on you. It's just expected that you're doing a great job. You're the ones that build the culture and the standard. And I'm not asking for a new standard. I'm just asking that you keep the high standard that we already have here at Abacus. So the reality check going into 2026, right? We're still gonna have the same issues and the same problems, with weather, the weather not cooperating to help give us business. In my philosophy, I don't wait for weather. We make sure that we're bringing the issues and the problems and solutions to customers to generate that business, regardless if it's hot or cold. Whether the system is working or not, we're gonna show the customer that there's value in replacing that equipment and getting it new. Now, especially than ever, that we're at the new refrigerant. So, we might have long days and tough homes and weather and scheduled pressures, but success isn't basically avoiding those challenges. It's what you do in the face of those challenges that you encounter, right? So we talked about this, I believe, with this group, but I really lean on these 4 principles or these 4 pillars and wanted to bring them back up. This is what has made me successful and my team successful with these 4 pillars. And those 4 pillars being seek the needs of others. Seek their needs. When you show up, you're here to solve the problem with doing that perfect install. And then help that customer move forward. Help your lead or your teammate move forward. Help them with the craftsmanship that you do. Joyfully pay the price. Number 3 there. Joyfully pay the price in what you do, because growth does come with a cost. That means that we don't look at, what's in it for me. Sometimes we have to joyfully pay that price to do that. And if any of you are biblical, that means something to you as well. Joyfully paying the price. He joyfully paid the price in order for us to have salvation. And then expect nothing in return. Integrity wins, especially in the long term. And what you do is the most important day of that install, of that equipment, is when you install it. So, when you expect nothing in return, That gives the lifeblood of that system to make it last. And then the 2 keystones is what those 4 pillars stand on. Okay, it's like the bedrock in the keystone. So it's always being grateful. You know, you guys, talked about a lot of points here just a minute before the meeting started that pains you. And that's great. We weren't complaining. That's just giving some real stuff that we can improve on. But the energy that you bring into this room, the energy that you bring out to on the dock, and the energy you bring into a customer's home matters if you have this first. Remembering that you have gratitude for the day. You know, don't have the negators or the naysayers around you. Walk away. You know, let them be over there and that. Be grateful. Let that energy reside. Be curious and not judgmental is number 2. So, don't worry about if you make a mistake, or something's not quite right, or the customer may not be giving you, a glass of water. Don't be judgmental. We don't know what they're going through, or we don't know what they're thinking. They're thinking maybe you're taken care of. Don't be judgmental. Just again, being grateful that we have a job, that we're here to do good quality work for them and move forward. These principles, they work in the field and they work in life. I truly believe. So new year equals new decisions. Decisions, January doesn't just magically make us better because it's a new year, right? Decisions do. And making those decisions with you means growth. And that comes through small disciplines done consistently over time. And what I really mean about that is basically doing the boring things over and over and over consistently is what builds success, right? So meaning that, what you do is a lot of what you do is repetitive. Every home's a little different to solve a new puzzle, but you still ultimately are doing the same thing by installing equipment. And it's important that we don't take the shortcuts. It's the decisions you make to stick with the boring things that you have to consistently do every day to build a quality install. So what consistency looks like? Well, if you have to, stay in the home a little longer to get it done. Ask another question of a teammate or your manager to make a process better. Explaining value to your teammates, to the homeowner. I know we don't talk a lot to the homeowner, but you do talk to the homeowner. They want to hear the value of what they purchased from you. They know you're the expert because you're the one installing it. So don't avoid them. Build that value and treating the customer as if they matter. So when we show up to the home, like Jesse was saying, at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we're showing them that they may not matter as much. That's an example of showing the customer that they matter. Leaving the home better than we left it tells the customer that they matter. These are all things that you know. So how we really win, great installers aren't defined by speed alone. And some of you are really good at speed. You know what? And you guys know that if you've got the speed down, you could come in, get it done, do a great job, be efficient at it, and move on. That's awesome. But it's not everything. It's not everything. It's how disciplined you are when you are under pressure. Depending on the house, the customer, they're throwing at you, what you didn't get from the selling tech on that darn material list, the gate code that they left off, now you're getting there even later. It's under pressure and how you respond to that. So that's what really matters. So as we move into January, we talk about goals. Goals being that, I think about birthday wishes when I look at this slide. Okay, you all have had a birthday, you have candles on the cake, and what do you do before you blow out the candles? You make a wish, and what do they say? They say, don't say them out loud. Don't say them out loud because what? They won't come true. They won't come true, right? You've heard that, okay? So think about this, right? Goals spoken out loud do come commitments. So I want you to speak it to the world. The world has a funny way of helping people who speak out loud their dreams, and because it helps us hold you accountable to it, which I have here why saying your goals matter. It matters because it gives them weight. You know, if you don't speak it, you don't actually have a goal. So you have to speak it. They always say write it down. You know, you create yourself accountability, and actually you give your crew and your management team and everyone around you a chance to help you succeed, because now we know what's important to you. If you don't speak it out loud, we don't know what's important. So think about this. What do you want to become better at as an installer this year? What's one thing that you want to get better? Is it communicating systems, wiring better? Is it just making it look pretty? Is it because I want $25 every week? You know, whatever it is, what do you want to be better at? What kind of teammate? What kind of culture do you guys want to build in here? You know, what kind of teammate do you want to be, and what kind of habit what do you need to start changing right now? So just are things to think about, not later, not next month, not while we're slow, now. Okay? So remembering again, I talk about the culture of the team sport. It is a team sport. I like to talk about sports, but no one wins alone. We are in here together. I mean, even when we're paired up as a team, you guys are still learning from each other. You're still high-fiving each other. So when you fall short, we, as a team, are going to coach. We're not going to criticize each other, right? If you're struggling, we're not going to judge you. We're going to be here to help you as a team effort. If somebody's doing a great job, we're going to recognize it. And we're going to do whatever we can to recognize it loudly. All right? Just like we do with Maria, who's got to go get to work now. The real goal, because our goal isn't just about getting the job done. Almost done, guys. Almost done, I promise. It's not about just getting the job done. Our goal is professional craftsmanship, crew pride, and customer trust. It basically comes down to two buckets. Anything that gets in our way from solving these two things, which is kind of in alignment with this slide, which is customer satisfaction or revenue. That's ultimately what we're saying here. If it gets in the way, it's noise, we don't need to be doing it. We just need to make sure that we stay focused on customer satisfaction and revenue. And you guys got to help us with that. But we will promise to help you guys with that. We're going to start some training classes next week. We're going to be bringing in small training classes, not the big, we're small training classes. So if you're not in the first or the second, you're going to be in one. Because we're going to develop, continue to develop and lift you guys up in your craft and your trade. Get you, sharper in your skill, remind you of things. So closing challenge. Don't let 2026 just happen to you. You heard that phrase, right? Gosh, this just happens to me. I'm so unlucky. Speak to the world that you think that you're lucky. Science says that people who say that they feel lucky actually see more opportunities. If you say or feel like you're unlucky, those people in the studies, didn't get promotions, they didn't get opportunities, they didn't get jobs, they got laid off. It's because of how they viewed life. So, you know what? Don't let 2026 just happen to you. Decide who you want to be, right? Show up with intention, speak your goals out loud, and hold yourself. Again, I'm not talking about holding yourself to a higher standard. Because we already have a standard. Just keep yourself at that standard. Remember who you are. And I'll part with, which is the last, new year, new you, same standards, higher results. And the last thing I'm going to start trying to say at the meetings is let's go earn it. Okay? Thank you guys for your attention.